What's going on, guys? Right here. So if this looks familiar, this is because this is part 2 that I'm recording of the 5 things that I love about the FZ09. My first video was 5 things I hate about the FZ09, which I didn't really hate. Anyway, this is going to be 5 things that I really enjoy about my FZ MT09 and why I choose to still keep it around as a bike. So we're going to be going from 5 to 1 of my least most favorite, right? Least of the most favorite things, down to the most favorite thing about this bike. So number 5 is going to be just the style, just the overall style of this bike. I don't know. This is Yamaha's hyper naked class of bike, and to me, it just screams just like hooliganism. Like, you just want to go fast. You just want to have fun on this bike. And then the aggressive headlights. I love the headlights, if you couldn't tell. Which, thanks again, Sir Fleshwound, for designing the logo to match. Here we go. To match the front end of this bike. It's just one of the most striking features of the bike. I love how Yamaha put the 4 headlights in here. It actually kind of, I think, and I've heard that it matches more the style of the R1 with those like 4 headlights in the style like that. But that's number 5 thing I love about this bike, is just the overall style of it. Number 4 is the sound that this bike gives off. The sound of the triple motor, especially with the Akrapovic exhaust. Had to get my Russian going. The Akrapovic exhaust, it gives off a phenomenal sound. I absolutely love the sound. I'm gonna fire it up for you again because, hell, I just love the way it sounds. Yep. Just love the way the triple sounds, and if you can hear that whine, that triple whine, I know that's not just a Yamaha thing. My Tony, Carey, they've got Triumphs, and they say that they have that triple whine on them also. But just the sound of the bike when you're just with the quick shifter on. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to leave out of the list, but I'll talk about it now. The quick shifter paired with the exhaust and everything on this bike, it's just, it's scrumptious. Alright guys, so the number 3 thing that I love about this bike is something I already kind of touched on before. I talked about the styling of the headlights. I'm actually going to talk about the performance of the LED headlights. I actually really love these LED headlights. When I was first looking into this bike, I was seeing people giving reviews saying that the LED lights were crap. They couldn't see at night in them. I can see perfectly at night, especially out here in the county, these back county roads. It's like pitch black dark at night. I can see perfectly fine. You put on the high beams and it's fine. I love these lights. I don't know why other people complaining about them. I don't know if they're not angled right or set up right for them, but I don't know. I absolutely love the LEDs on this bike. All right guys, the number 2 thing I love about this bike are the modes. Alright, so when you turn this bike on, you're gonna see here the different modes, and oh boy, I'm almost out of gas, which is a common thing on this bike. I can never keep it full for very long. So as you can see right now, it is in standard mode. Traction control 2, because we were just riding through a lot of rain the other night, so I wanted to put on traction control 2 just in case anything crazy happened. But you go over here and you have the controls. So I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can get it to focus on over there. You flip this down and it'll change the traction control from 2 to 1. Now in 1 you can do some wheelies, you can do some, it'll get the front end up. But now if you want to turn it all the way off, you just hold it down and it'll turn traction control all of the way off. So you can wheelie to your heart's content, but I'm not ready for that yet. So we're gonna put it back on TC1. Okay, so I just thought of something. This was bugging me the other night. while I got you guys here and we're talking about the controls and the modes, I'm going to show you here, right over here. So this is one thing that I didn't touch on the other day in the last video about things that I hated about the MT09. So if you can see here, these controls are so close to one another, and the horn and everything. Wow. All right, so the controls are so close to one another. This is one thing that I just don't like about this bike, is how these controls are just so close, so similar. I can never remember which one is which between the high beams and the low beams and then the traction control. So sometimes I'm flashing my lights thinking I'm changing the traction control, and then sometimes I'm trying to, if I need to get over real fast and I'm trying to hit the flipper switch, I accidentally hit the horn. And you know, as a biker, that can just cause a little bit of an embarrassing moment. All right, but going back to the modes on this bike, as you can see right here is the mode button. Now it's actually the same for the traction control and the modes. Now all you have to do, you could be changing the modes while you're riding. You just have to roll off the throttle. If you're on the throttle and you're trying to hit it, it's not going to work. You got to roll off the throttle, and then you can hit the mode button, and you're going to go from A to B to standard. Now when I started riding this bike, I started in B mode. Because that was beginner mode. And going from the R3 to this beast of a bike, I really felt that I wanted to spend a little bit of time in B mode just to get the feeling of the torque and the power of the bike. I didn't stay in B mode long. I quickly, probably within the first week and a half, blinkers. Now, if you ride with me, you understand this is kind of an inside joke, me and blinkers. Anyway, so I quickly went from B mode to like standard mode with it about a week and a half after getting the bike and starting to ride with it. And just for me, standard mode, a mix of city and rural riding, standard mode is probably the best because the throttle isn't super jerky then. In A mode is just insano mode. When I get out on the county roads and I really want to have some fun, I'll put it in A mode and then just rip on it. But when you go from county roads to into Kenosha, into the city, it's like you feel like you're on a bucking bronco because the throttle response is super twitchy. It's super just like there. Like, yeah, there's almost no like down in response time with A mode. So I don't know. If you're looking to get one of these bikes and you're going to be doing some city riding, either stick it in B mode or just keep it in standard because it'll be a good mix between the two. A mode in the city for me is just no bueno. I don't enjoy it because I find myself feeling like an idiot, feeling like I'm bucking around because I end up giving it just a little too much gas. Now another thing that I really enjoy about the modes on the bike is the other night we were going up to Milwaukee and we got caught in some rain. Now I get some crap for this from my buddies Chris, and I don't know about Brian yet. His wife just got a Z900, the competitor to the FZ09, and his back tire slid out from under him because they don't have traction control. They don't have the A, B modes and all that stuff. So we were leaving from the light, I left just fine. He had a little trouble, his back end slid out. I thought the front end came up because I just seen him kind of like, whoa. But yeah, his back end slid out. And I mean, that's what I really enjoy, is just having that extra little confidence that if something, something out of my control happens, the bike should take care of some of that for me. Alright guys, so that brings us to the number one thing that I love about this bike, the FZ MT09, is, drumroll, the power. And I know I touched on it before, the power of this bike is just, I love it. It's just insane. There's my boy. What's up, dude? What's up? Well, thanks, dude. Yeah, thank you. Just gave me a Kit Kat. But the power of this bike is just, I absolutely love it. It has plenty of power to get you down the road, to pass Lord knows how many cars at a single stretch, and it's just, one thing that I was definitely missing from the R3 was the power and the torque. The pork. That's going to be a new thing. I'm just going to say I love the pork on this bike. The power and the torque on this bike is just something that I think if you ride any kind of hyper naked bike in Yamaha's lineup, you're going to love just the torque that it's going to give you. And yeah, you know, the number one thing that I love about the bike isn't necessarily the power, it's the torque. Even when you're not speeding down the road, you can just crank the throttle and just feel it, you know, put you in the back of the seat. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this list of the 5 things I love about the FZ. And if you have one, let me know what your favorites are. Let me know if you agree with some of these. And like I said in the other video, if you have a bike that you want to give your own list of, you know, maybe shout me out in the video, send me a link when you post your video, and you know, we can discuss and talk about the things you love or the things you hate about your bike. So until the next video, guys, if you're new here, please like, subscribe, comment. I love comments. I try to get back to as many as I can, but please like, subscribe, comment, and until the next one, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Get out here and ride safe. Bye-bye.